The soul is after something. The soul is longing for something. And if you don't stop to get still, then you will misinterpret the longing of the soul, which is God, which is alignment with God, which is connection with God. You will misinterpret that longing and try to appease self through the things that we do.
I mean, that's a kind of a check too, isn't it? And that's something I struggle with, where it's like, only I can speak, and only I can go on the book tour, and only I can do this. And
or only I can do it well.
Yeah.
And that's a mistake. That's a mistake, because here's the thing. When you get out of the way, you'll realize that there are people on your team and in your staff that will crush what you think that you have to do. Or, maybe it's not that. Maybe they may not crush it like you, but you need the rest. What's more valuable right now in this season is your rest. And so, ego gets in there. And, I have this chapter in the book. It's called Balance After the Blow. It's powerful. It's one of the most powerful chapters. It's about regaining your equilibrium after some unexpected setback happens to you, death of a loved one, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the points is going into what I call power save mode, energy save mode, where I am operating on fumes. And when I'm operating on fumes, my energy, the best thing to call it is energy, my strength is reduced. And so now I have to pause and be a strategic energy investor and delegate and do all these things. This book, I know we're talking about this book, but it's changing my life, and I wrote it.
And it's,
No, I was just going to say, if I can chime in, I co-pastor with my husband, but I don't speak every Sunday. So I may not relate fully to the every Sunday pressure of having to get up and speak. But I do a lot of things at my house and in my home, and they're pretty daily. And in doing those things, I've got a little ego when I start thinking I'm the only one who can do certain things. Like, I'm the only one who can cook the dinner. I'm the only one who can do the girls' hair. I'm the only one who can do the homework. I have put this pressure on myself to be the only one who can do it. And what I am learning is that I do take pride in making an incredible meal for my family. I do take pride in the way I do the girls' hair and the homework and all of those things. But I've also learned that it is not the end of the world if we order in. It is not the end of the world if they walk around and their hair is not brushed today. At the end of the day, sometimes I have to choose my wellness, my health over trying to be super mom, because there's an imaginary badge that comes with that. Sometimes you got to be willing to take the cape off.
Listen, the most important person in your life is you. Now that seems crazy. It's like, it seems so unchristian, unspiritual, but it's not true. If you're not good, God can't use you. If you're depleted, if you're, one of the chapters is about the 5 signs of imbalance. Weariness is one of them. When you go from being tired to weary, you are on your way down. A lot of great leaders have fallen, not because they were bad people, not because they were immoral people. It's because they were tired people. They were weary people. So to steward me is ministry. To steward me first. As goes me, so goes the church, so goes everything. And I think that that's something that there's a paradigm shift that is needed. If I'm not well, my church can't be well. If I'm not well, my business can't be well. If I'm not well, my marriage can't be well. So self-prioritization is everything.
Let's talk about some practical steps. What's something that anybody today can do right now that would help them find better balance in their life?
I think the first step to balance is actually not a step, it's to stop. I have discovered that it takes more faith to stop than it does to go and to start something new. And the reason why it takes a lot of faith to stop is because most people believe that if they actually would stop, the world would come crumbling down overnight. They would be bankrupt, they would be out of a job, that whole bit. But even, our Lord taught us in the very beginning the principle of the Sabbath. And Sabbath doesn't mean rest. Rest is connected to Sabbath, but that Hebrew word literally means to cease.
Interesting.
To stop. And so God, right there in Genesis, is teaching us a fundamental principle that it is actually okay to stop. And the one who set your universe in motion and set everything that you're proud of in motion can sustain it and maintain it while you take time to recreate yourself, right? And so I think the first step is to stop. Now, the reason why stopping is so important is because life is noisy.
Yeah.
Life, and here's the thing, life is noisy, but people don't realize how noisy life is because noisy has become normal.
Yeah.
It isn't until you actually stop that you realize, oh my God, my norm is noise, right? And so what's the challenge with noise? Why is noise such a problem? Noise is a problem because you cannot be connected to God's voice in the noise. And so what if God is saying, it's time to make a left, or it's time to sow in this field, or to do that? Well, you're just going and going and going and going, and you're headed towards God knows what.
Yeah.
And so I think the first step is to stop, to get still, and then that's gonna bring you to an awareness, right? Because one of the things that the noise does, and I can talk about this all day, so just interrupt me if you want. But one of the things about the noise is the noise disconnects you from reality. It only connects you to the reality of everyone else. So you've got your cell phone, and if you are on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what you're doing is you are experiencing the proposed realities of other people. Right? So you don't know if it's your thought. You know, you get on social media, and if you just scroll your timeline and you've got 10 posts, you can go through 10 different emotions. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm, you know, jealousy, all that sort of stuff. And so balance, the first step to balance is stopping so that you can become aware.
It's such a good word. I remember this revelation I had when I was at a nice restaurant with my wife, and we were at a dinner, and I was looking at everybody was on their cell phone. A lot of people were on like this amazing restaurant with this incredible chef and this amazing expensive experience, you know, you got a babysitter. And sometimes you see couples and they're both on their phones, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then the funny thing is my wife got up to go to the bathroom, and you know what was the first thing I did? I reached for my phone. It was like compulsive. I couldn't just be there and eat the food. I couldn't just enjoy the space or the music or the design of the building or pray or just have a smile on my face. I had this thing built into me. I'm a pastor, you know? I'm supposed to be praying. And I don't feel guilty. I grabbed it as I'm judging these people. I'm like, kind of like looking at them with this critical eye. And then my wife gets up to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, boop. And I didn't have any, there wasn't like nobody was calling me.
No.
I opened my phone. I didn't know why. I didn't know what I was going to do when I opened my phone. It was compulsive.
But is your thumb on autopilot where like you don't even know how you got on Instagram? Like I went to check my message, now I'm on Instagram.
Totally.
Or I went to check the email and now I'm doing this. No, the phone is
And it's by design, and that's the thing. It's by design. 13 years, so my background is business and technology. So I used to build data centers for Fortune 100 companies.
Wow.
And I had a guy come to me easy 15, 16 years ago, and he was trying to pitch me something. I should have bought it actually, but he was trying to pitch me this concept that was undergirded by the fact that everything was going to come to your phone, you know. And I'm like, get out of here.
Whatever.
Like, your phone, no, get out of here. And so the design, watch this, we are distracted by design. You know, corporate isn't bad. You know, I believe in capitalism, and you know, I believe. I'm not. You know, that's my preference.
They want us to be distracted.
It is. You are distracted by design. It's interesting. The phrase "pay attention." I think I understand why they use the phrase "pay attention," because your attention is expensive. It costs something. Your eyeball. I think it's. I had all the numbers at one point, but your attention is worth billions of dollars. And so when we are paying attention to something, we are paying for that attention.
We're losing. It's like there's this old fairy tale I remember, and it's about this little boy who can pull a string anytime he goes through something bad in life. It was given to him by a fairy. And so every time he goes through something bad in life, he pulls a string and his life fast forwards. And then he gets to the end of his life and he regrets that he didn't endure all the suffering. It's very Russian, you know, fairy tale. And to me, that's what we're doing. Our phone is like a little bit of the string we can pull where we can check out of life. But maybe we're missing out. Sometimes even the boredom, which is a type of suffering, is a space where God can speak to us.
That's so good.
I had a friend of mine that he said, I wonder how many miles if we could record it, we've done on our Instagram. Like if you think, okay, I just moved like, you know, 6 inches, you know, 8 inches, whatever. Like I wonder how many miles we've done just doing this on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is that we're on. And I think there's a hunger, Touré, for what you're writing about, that people, they want to regain, you know, some life again, and they want freedom. Like, how do we? And balance is the word, because there's some people like, get rid of your cell phone. But that's not balance either, right?
No.
You need a cell phone to do any. You can't even go to Disneyland without a cell phone, you know. So, how do we find? Is there? I guess there's a part of balance that's probably discipline, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's. So I talked about stopping to come to a place of awareness, but the awareness that I'm talking about is not necessarily self-awareness. Self-awareness is a popular buzzword, and it's a wonderful thing to be aware of self, what you're doing, why you're doing it. Maybe you can make some corrective measures and changes or what have you. But there's another level to self-awareness, and that is soul awareness. And the reason why understanding the difference between self-awareness and soul awareness is so critical is because the soul is after something. The soul is longing for something. And if you don't stop to get still, then you will misinterpret the longing of the soul, which is God, which is alignment with God, which is connection with God. You will misinterpret that longing and try to appease self through the things that we do, through social media, through you know, drugs and alcohol, through relationships. And so this message is everything, and it talks about how to get down to the longing of your soul, because your soul is after something.
That's good.
Your soul wants something, and your soul is intelligent, and it knows where to find what it needs.
At TBN, our mission is to use every available means to reach as many individuals and families as possible with the life-changing gospel of Jesus Christ.
Thank you for helping make the gospel of grace go around the world.
Without you, we couldn't do it. God bless you.